Mr. Secretary, first of all, we know you've got a big job. And housing, particularly, should be one of the tools in our economy to lead us out of the recession because it meets a compelling human need and it also creates jobs. I think this is a great job, and I could go through all the big picture issues like why the cuts in CDBG, which I like CDBG because it goes to every community. Baltimore City, our big urban counties also benefit, but states like Maine and Rhode Island. So we're very concerned about the cuts in CDBG. But I have today a really very Baltimore-focused question. In March, are you familiar with the issue of the moving to work agreements?
Sure.
Well, in March of 2014, HUD sent the Housing Commissioner of Baltimore City a letter saying that their contract would be renewed for 10 years without any changes in the financial terms. I was deeply troubled to learn that HUD has reversed its position. Just 5 months after the letter was sent in March, it now proposes to cut Baltimore operating subsidies by as much as 46%. As you can imagine, the mayor of Baltimore, who you know very well, sir, called me, and we had a meeting about this. We understand that the loss could be as much as $42 million a year. My city can't lose $42 million a year while it tries to meet the compelling needs. Now, since Baltimore was granted full status in 2005, it successfully used the program's flexibility, which allows it to move to a modest percentage of funds each year because just the way they handled the whole flexibility issue. What can we do about this?
Yeah, thank you very much for the
And by the way, it just
question.
doesn't affect Baltimore. It affects 11 communities, other communities around the country.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to address this issue. I agree with you that for these communities that our MTW agencies, especially these 11 that are facing the prospect of different funding, this is an urgent matter. I also want to say that I share your enthusiasm for MTW because it has been effective in providing the kind of flexibility that we believe allows public housing authorities to best meet local needs. This is an issue that is in the process of negotiation with all 39 agencies as we look at extending MTW beyond 2018, renewing these contracts, and also negotiations with these 11. The reason that this arose was that originally when these 11 agreements were signed, they were essentially on a different track from the other 28 agreements that were more uniformed. These 11 agreements resulted in essentially a formula that is providing a lot more revenue to these 11 public housing authorities than they would normally get now under a standardized agreement that the other 28 have. And we fully recognize that, that we need to find a way to work with them so that eventually we can have each of the communities that are MTW under the same formula.
But you know what, Mr. Mayor, pardon me.
Yeah.
You know, I was a Baltimore City Councilwoman, so once a mayor, always a mayor. So when I call you mayor, it's really like calling you
I think it's probably
in
still
our
my
mind, it's
favorite
like
title.
calling you Mr. President, okay? So we mean it as a compliment. But these communities have names like Chicago, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Seattle, Washington. So, but many of these cities are comeback cities. New Haven, Connecticut. You know how the difficult transition New Haven has gone in. So I don't want to take the time of the subcommittee, and this is not a public negotiation. This is a public awareness conversation. Do I have your word that you would actually look at this and look at the circumstances affecting Baltimore, the age of our housing, a terrible legacy of lead paint, that we have been working on back to Jack Kemp days and so on, and really help us really do this. We know that there is a subject of negotiation. I'm not asking for $46 million. I'm not asking that you keep the current contract, but I am asking that we not be dismissed, and because my city feels that the bureaucracy is blowing them off. That's what they feel. Now, I know that's not your way, and I ask you really to do that. And I have a letter for me with more specific items, and more specific questions. I don't want to take the time. I look forward to a conversation with you personally about this, because we don't need to have this kind of problem. But $46 million in a city budget would really be a very significant blow to Mayor Rawlings-Blake's agenda for revitalization and renewal.
Sure. Thank you very much, Senator, for raising the issue. Please be assured that we do look forward to working with Baltimore and the other 10 communities that are in this situation. I have already devoted some personal attention to this, and I've been out to Baltimore a couple of times, and look forward to interacting with the mayor and the Housing Authority on this, and with yourself. We're confident that we can get to a resolution, I think, that preserves their ability to do great work, and also, I think fits with the overall direction of the MTW program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.